So can you hear me? Can you hear me, guys? Thumbs up if you can hear me clear. Okay, thank you. So okay. Na-miss ko yung natin, sa school. Okay, so first, who wants to volunteer to pray? Or I think this will be second to the last of our meeting. This is our 30th week, so who wants to volunteer? Or no one to? Okay, I'm going to start. Okay, so let us remember that we are in the holy presence of God. In the Father, Son, and Spirit. I will continue, O my God, to do all my action for the love of you. Mary, our Lady of the Star, pray for us. Saint John Baptist de la Salle, pray for us. Saint William Romanson, pray for us. Leave Jesus in our hearts forever. In the name of the Father, and Son, amen. So good afternoon, everyone. So our topic for today is about, so this is our first topic. So after first topic, we're going to have a 10 or 7 minutes break if you want. Okay, so the first topic is about building self-esteem. So before that, we have to have this learning outcome. So our learning outcome is to assess our self-esteem based on person word self-esteem scale to identify our appropriate course of action. So if we learn our self-esteem, if it is low or high or normal, so if it's high and normal, we don't have to do about it. But if it is low, we have to think of how to remedy this or how to improve our self-esteem. Then second is construct personal mission and goal statement to align values, strength, weaknesses, passion, motivation to a deeper meaning guided by the Great Discovery Worksheet and the SMART 2. Okay, so regarding self-esteem, is oftentimes interchanged with self-confidence. Okay, so the spring from knowledge of oneself, being said by Dr. Seuss. Okay, so today you are you. That is truer than true. There is no one alive who is lower than you. Okay, so basically, it's all about you. Okay, so, what do we feel about it? So, how do we feel? We have to be true to ourselves. Okay, so we have to see. We have to see how we feel, and then we have to be honest about it, so that we can know how to cope up or how to solve this self-esteem, how to resolve it. Or our self-esteem is very high, so that's a good news. Okay, so you have a lot of energy. Okay? So next is this will be your I think to test your self-esteem, you have to, I think, the first one is the Rosenberg self-esteem scale, which is by Norton. And then the other one link is, so it's almost the same. It's only a different of one or the two words, but the meaning or the thought of the question is the same. So either or, you can pick the link and then you can answer the 10 questions or 10 items. Okay. So these are the questions, or you can have the link files and then you can answer it and then you can have a reflection about it. And then after that, we have this meet yourself. Okay, so that will be the activity for this week 13 topic. Okay, so the first one question is, I feel that I am a person worth at least on a equal plane with others. Okay, so this is a statement answerable by strong agree, or disagree, or strongly disagree. Okay, so a person who at least unequal playing with others. So, a person comparing herself to other or himself to others is equal. And second question is, I feel that I have a number of good qualities. So these are person checking his skills, his self-worth. Okay. The third one is, all in all, I am going to feel that I am failure. So this one, if you agree with this, I think this categorized as part of the low self-esteem. Okay. Then number 4, I am able to do things as well as most other people. Okay, so, yeah. So, okay, so this question is about, as again, comparing yourself, your skill, comparing your skill to others. Okay. So, you can still answers by these 4 categories. Statement number 5, I feel I do not have much to be proud of. So, again, this is for, if you agree with this, it will be categorized as lost. Okay. So again, next is number 6. I take a positive attitude toward myself. Okay, so this is, if you agree with this, you have a positive, you are a positive thinker. Okay. So for number 7, on the whole, I am satisfied with myself. So this person is, if you agree with this statement, I think uh, your satisfaction or your self-esteem is in the median, or I think if you strongly agree, maybe on high positive side. Okay. Number 8, I wish I could have more respect for myself. So this, if you agree with this, or disagree with this, it will be about just self-respect. Okay. So number 9, I certainly feel useless at the time. So again, this is categorized as for as self-esteem. Okay. And the last one is, at time I think I am no longer no good at all. So at time I think I am not good at all. Okay, so if you agree with this, it's again on a negative point of view. So there are a lot of student texting. Okay, so this will be your score. If you're going to compute all the total score of yours, it will be, let's say, for 3, you strongly agree, and 2 strong, or 2, you just agree or disagree. Okay, so from 1 to 4, 6, and 7, I hope gana yung positive siya. Okay. For art, so you for item 3, 5, 8, 9, and 10, it's a reverse. So dapat you have to be strongly reverse of nung kanina. Okay? So dapat use strongly disagree or strongly disagree. So yung kanina strongly agree, it is on the positive side. Okay? And then on the other side, strongly disagree for yung score nyo. If for the number 3, 5, 8, and 3, 5, 8, 9, and 8. So hopefully positive result. Okay. Then after that, you have to have self-reflection about what do you feel about your self-esteem. Okay. So after that, you're going to manifest. Makikita nyo naman. Okay, so your score the scale range from 0 to 30 or between 15 to 25 are the within normal range score. Okay, so below 15 suggests your game than your self-esteem. Okay? So my question now is, what do Pio Worsberg, Catriona Green, and Ethan Diaz have in common? You can chat it. So what do they have in common? Bukod sa they are all women. So if I'm going to add a man, let's say Manny Pacquiao, what these 3 or 4 person have in common? He's, I think the 2 entered beauty pageant, but Fideline,
Did you guys or say they're all women?
but how about Manny Pacquiao? How do you say?
Well, he won against the boxing. Well, he won a lot of boxing matches, so that kind of counts.
Kind of what?
Yeah.
Okay. So the first 2, yes, you're correct. They will enter beauty contest and they won the Miss Universe. They had confidence to do something they like. Okay, confidence to do something that they like. Yes, Joshua. Okay, so yes, same goes with Hidden Diaz. He joined the weightlifting contest and then she won. And then also with Manny Pacquiao, he loved to play boxing and then he became a world champion. Right? So all of them have this self-confidence na is very high. Okay, diba? So, plus, ano yun? What's that? So at the same time, inaral nila. They study about how or skill and how can they won. Okay, so for example, Hibili, bata pa lang siya, train na siya to lift a lot of heavy items. And for Catriona and Pia, both join different contests and sometimes they won, sometimes they did, but I think they played. They have a lot of beauty title, but they were aiming for the Miss Universe Philippines so that they can join the Miss Universe. Okay. So, until they get the titles, they get to meet it. Yun yung self-confidence nila and then they work for them. Okay? So, sino sa inyo yung magiging next Philippine musical? Okay? Next, what do I think about myself? Have you asked yourself this question? Have you tried to ask yourself this question? I think kasi bata pa kayo. So, sometimes, hindi sumasabi or you cannot, parang hindi nyo siya naiisip. But if, sometimes pag may some teenagers have a lot of pimples or sometimes they are being bullied in school, especially in their high school days. So if you have encountered, I think, bad situations during your high school, you were going to reflect on yourself. Bakit ako ginagawa ito? Why are they doing this to me? Okay, so what do I have that they want to do this or they want this thing to do to me? Okay. Really mga question, right? So, I think there's nothing wrong about it. Siguro yung mga nabubuli, there's something wrong about it. Baka hindi sila may confidence or they are genes about your character or your personality, maybe something like that. Okay? Or maybe you're so unique that they tend to focus on you. Okay? So don't think negative about yourself. Okay? So type of self-esteem. Okay? This first one is the global self-esteem. It refers to the general evaluation of how much one's like oneself and how much one is happy with oneself and the way one is as is a human being. So it is your general evaluation of yourself. So parang if you're facing a mirror, how do you see yourself? Do you see something great? Do you see something sad? This is something person with an accomplishment or something that has a need or something that you think. So hopefully you're not thinking about yourself as a loser. Okay? So these are the self-evaluations and parang these were the general things that when when you're facing a mirror, you're thinking or you're looking at yourself. You're assessing yourself. Okay? Or deep reflections. So domain specific and self-esteem. So it refers on specific domains of the self-esteem in adolescent, which includes scholastic confidence, social acceptance, physical appearance, athletic confidence, romantic appeal, close friendship, job competence, and behavioral conduct. These are the specific domains with self-esteem given if you're getting a lot of recognitions for your schools, like you were part of the Dean Listers or having a lot of awards before high school, during your high school, or you were famous during your high school. There are a lot of guys or guys or girls that like you or have a crush on you. So that will be called social acceptance. Then also your physical appearance. Okay, so for example, for physical appearance, when people call you people, what do they mean about it? Do you have an idea why people sometimes being called short? No, don't. So you don't have an idea if somebody's called you people, that person people or shrimp, or she like a shrimp. So my idea about parang sometimes if they see you, mm, if somebody told you like that, it means what? Sorry. So what do you mean by that? Hello? Yeah. Okay, so if somebody called you a shrimp, it means that your body is good or sexy or macho, but the face, it's not that fun. It's funny lang. Not appealing. Okay? So that will be something that sometimes some people are proud. Okay? But some people are not proud. Okay? So if they call you shrimp, that means that your body is physically good, healthy, but I think you need to improve on your other part, facial. When you prove that, you can be a total package or total beautiful inside out. Okay? So if you're good in athletic or especially these people if they have this romantic involvement, so they feel that they are complete. Okay? So especially if you have a lot of friends during high school, so you feel that you don't lack anything. Okay? So our self-esteem is affected by two factors. Okay? These two factors are doing well where it matters. Okay? This stems from our ability to do well in areas that are important to us. Example would include grade, sports, and project. Okay? So it's an example that you were doing something that you like, and then it benefits or it reflects on the output that you are having. So your output or your grades are getting higher, or in sports you're having recognition as well as something like volleyball player or baseball player. In project, they might call your project very creative or um, innovative. Okay? So the other one is earning the esteem of others. This stems from the external source, the perception of how other people think of us. Example would include relationship, fame, peer approval. Okay, so this self-esteem is coming from others. Like for example, from your parents, or if you're from friends, or you're from group of people, community. So it this is self-esteem is um, um, approval or um, what people think about it. Mm. Ang sinabi nila, yung narinig mo tungkol sa'yo na positive. Parang chismis siya, parang nabig sa akin. Okay? So, importance of healthy self-esteem. Okay? So, what are the importance of healthy self-esteem? So, first, the theories of self-esteem stated that self-esteem is heavily influenced one's life, and that it's associated with outcomes in a wide array of life moments. So, we need to have influence. So, yung self-esteem, yung influence siya natin pagkatao. So, if mataas yung self-esteem natin, so, mataas yung output natin sa buhay. Okay? So, at the very least, according to Virgil Sigler Hill, it is involved in the transfer of information between individual and social environment. So, galing yun ang sabi sa coming from different people saying about you. Okay? And I think it's more on the positive side. And it offers a protective function that buffers individuals from a negative experience. So, if you have this from kahit even though they are saying negative things about you, you still feel confident. Okay? Kasi most of the time, you have this self-esteem mo is very high. So parang wala kang walang pakialam. Parang you don't care about others, what other people say about it. Kasi you have this confidence that you feel, why would I bother to hear what they're saying if I feel myself okay, I'm complete. Okay, so if what they say is that you make your self-esteem low, what will you do about it? Okay, so may magagawa ba? May magagawa ba sila if you're not going to ignore what they're saying? But if they were saying to improve about your character or want to improve about your behavior, maybe you have to listen, but don't let them affect you. Don't let this affect you. So if you feel that you need an improvement, so have a reflection, then try to think whether they're saying it true or not. And then if you think you need an improvement, so improve yourself. Okay? So that I think other people will stop saying that. Okay? But if you feel that chika lang siya. So they were just destroying your self-esteem. You ignore them. Okay? So you have to believe in yourself. Have to, or you can ask your family about yourself. So if other people are saying, is it true that I'm ganito or something like that? So ask a close friend that will say frankly talagang truth about yourself. Kasi hindi mo siya, people or person will not tell alam that this is your true personality. So then accept and then find something that can or can improve, having improve your personality, or if it is a behavior, you can improve your behavior. Okay, next, according to Patricia Binberg, as cited in the book of Binberg, stated that self-esteem is important as it affects motivations, functional behaviors, and life satisfaction, and it's significantly related to well-being through our life. Okay, so you have to so she said that it's very important because it motivates us. Okay, and also if our self-esteem is being bothered or being influenced by others, sometimes yung behavior natin, how we react to others, change, nagkakaroon ng changes. Okay? So, and also, our life satisfaction. Okay? So, we need also to have this things to verifications and so that we can improve our self-esteem. So, healthy self-esteem is very important. It removes stress. Okay, so if according to Maslow, who clearly show the importance of self-esteem by placing it in our fourth level of his theory of hierarchy of need as shown in diagram. Okay, so it gives self-actualization without satisfying self-esteem needs. So therefore, one cannot self-actualize without self-esteem. Okay, so ito yung kanyang diagram. So I choose to diagram with visuals, and then the other one is full of words. So you put self-actualization on top. So what's involved in self-actualization? It's about morality, creativity, spontaneity, problem solving, lack of prejudice, acceptance of facts. Okay? So these are the things that we look up to when our self-problem we think nila. Okay, so so under is esteem, confidence, achievement, respect on others, and respect by others. Okay. So below is the psychological. So breathing, food. So do you want normal? So these are the things that basically we need. So basically we need to breathe, we need to eat, we need to drink, sleep, homeostasis, or something like that. And then for example, for adult, sex is very normal. And then for safety, so we need to have security of our body, employment, resources, morality, the family, health, and property. So we have to have this we have this self-esteem very high. So kung let's say, a normal naman tayo, we can have normal naman yung basic needs natin, and then safety about how we live. So kung safe, if we feel safe, so pataas ang pataas siya so that we are parang satisfied and then mataas yung self-esteem. Okay? So, especially kung meron tayong kaibigan, we have this family, okay, so especially kung meron kang mga partners or partners. So, kung wala naman yung focus lang sa friendship and family. Okay? Kung wala naman si family, let's say nasa problem si family, so what you do is pwede naman tayong webcam or you can talk to them online. Diba? And then your friends, they are your moral support. Okay? So strategies to build self-esteem. Okay, so replace negative thoughts with your positive thoughts. So how do we do that? First, we have to identify the triggers that promote negative thinking on how people react on it. Okay, so then taking notes of noticing interesting trends that keep the mind occupied. For example, you have this self-esteem. So I think focus on what is trending para mawala yung iniisip niyo na paano nakakakain sa yourself. Okay? Then stop jumping to conclusions or downplaying the positive about yourself. Okay, so learn to forgive yourself when you make mistake and take credit when you go accomplish. Okay, so you have to parang you finish your project, you're done with your assignment. So be happy about it. Huwag mo yung isipin na, nagawa ko yung assignment ko. Pero ang dami ko pang gawin. So, you have to take it slowly para hindi kayo mistakes. And then, yun nga, you have to identify nga lahat ng trigger na yun para mawala yung low self-esteem. Okay? Second strategy is take an inventory. So, what do you see about yourself in the mirror? So, ano ba kayo? What do you see about yourself? Or how do you feel about yourself? What do people say about you? So, make a list of your personal qualities. Try to list it down, all your strengths and not your weaknesses. So, focus on your strength, not on your weaknesses. Okay? So, next strategies are acknowledgement of success. So, take time to celebrate your success. Have faith about your abilities and strength. Okay, so make sure that you acknowledge it. You need focus on those things, not on the mistakes or weaknesses. And then stop comparing yourself. Why do you need to stop comparing yourself to others? Why do you think so? Why do you need to stop comparing to, let's say, your classmates? Let's say, for example, ay, nagawa na ng assignment ko, tapos na lahat ng project niya, ako na pa. So what happened if you're going to think about it? What will happen to you if you're going to try to compare yourself to somebody who is already accomplished all the things that you need to do or she needs to do, and then you, wala pa kayo sa kalahati. So what will you do? What will happen to you if you're going to focus on that? So just don't use other people as your standard. When it comes to self-esteem, kasi kayo yung sarili mo. Okay? You have your own standard. Yourself is your standard. Okay? Because there will always be someone better and more capable than you. Okay? Or kung, let's say, feel nyo kayo na yung like, you met someone, mas magaling sa inyo. Nahihinging insecure ba kayo? Siyempre, konti. Pero sa umpisa, but we have to parang go on. And then, bakit siya na, but you have to learn about bakit siya mas magaling sa inyo. So, you're going to improve yourself. Diba? And then, practice self-care. So, what are these? Listen to the body and avoid activities and food that cause irritability and exhaustion. Okay? So, bawal kumain mo. Kain bawal sa inyo. And then, sabi nga, exercise if you can. Then eating healthy and exercise can encourage positive thinking. Building and maintaining self-esteem is not an overnight. Okay? It's not an overnight process. Hindi siya kinabukasan magaling na, or let's say ngayon mataba ka, tomorrow payat ka na. Hindi yan magic. Okay? It takes a lot of success and disappointments. Meron success, may disappointment. So, for the disappointment, you learn to, you learn from that disappointment. And then, next time, you know what to do. Okay? And then for the success, if you learn, what are the keys that I was able to be maintaining my success, or to maintain your success, you have to know the keys why you are being successful. Okay, so what is important is a person take the first step to keep up. Okay, so you have to first make first step. Pag walang first step, hindi pa rin nag-improve. So you have to learn to take the first step. And then second step, third step. And then you see that your behavior, your self-esteem is improving. Okay. So these are the references. So this is your activities. Okay. So the first one is from self-reflection about the Rosenberg activity of self-esteem. So you have to screenshot your score and then your reflections. I have a guided upon questions about that. And then you're going to watch this. I'm going to, do you want to watch this, or kayo na lang yung open, o gusto niyo panood ko sa inyo? What do you want? Panood or not panood? Do you want to watch this? Nico Everett? Wala? You don't want to watch this? So this will be your activities, and after watching this, I'm going to answer this following question. What are your realization after watching the video? And do you think you can practice what was suggested in the video? So are you curious about this person? No. Pag hindi, I'm going to go on to the next topic. Or if you want, I can let you watch this, and then after watching this, we'll have a 10-minute break, and then we're going to proceed. Or if you don't have any question, we're going to proceed to the next topic, our 14th topic. No? Yes. Okay, my question is, do you want to watch this? I think this is only 7 minutes. Okay, so I think para mabawasan na lang yung time nyo na manood nito, I think panood ko na sa inyo. Para yung reflection na lang yung gagawin nyo. Kasi tambak na kayo ng gagawin. So I think we use this time para sayang naman. Nasaan siya? Makikita siya. Guys, do you see the video? Are you, or you can see the video? Did I share it? Okay, so thank you.
I was 11 years old and I was rubbing makeup all over my legs to cover up my freckles because I hated them and I thought they were so ugly. I was 15 and I lived with my dad and my stepmom, and I lied about my mom. I lied about her because she was a waitress and she lived in a tiny apartment and because she was a recovering drug addict. I lied about her because I was too ashamed to tell the truth. I was 17 and I was down on my knees on a bathroom floor and I was forcing myself to throw up everything that I'd eaten that morning. I was desperate to be thin. I was trying so hard to be perfect. I was 21 and I didn't even realize what I was doing, but I was droning on and on to my friend Julie, telling her about all the people that we knew and how great they were and how amazing their lives were and how much I wanted to be like them, how jealous I was. And my dear friend Julie, she stopped me and she said, Nico, you need to meet yourself. And when she said that to me, it was like something changed. It was like she held a mirror up for me and what she was showing me was so different from what I had ever seen before. She said, Nico, you should be jealous of yourself. You're gutsy, you're hardworking, you're resilient. If you could meet yourself, you might really like her. But as quickly as she painted that image of me, it was gone. And I was totally confused because I see myself as embarrassing, unlovable, awkward. But I loved that image that she created and I wanted it back. So I set out on this journey to find it, to try to make it stick. So eventually I landed myself a job working with young women. My job was to create a program for them to help them increase their self-esteem, which of course was kind of laughable because I had no self-esteem myself. But I started to wonder, could we create our own self-esteem? Could we build it ourselves? And I did a little research and it turns out that self-esteem, it's just based on our own thoughts of ourselves. And I knew that we could control our own thoughts. And so I thought, yeah, maybe we could actually start to build our own self-esteem. And I was willing to try. So the first session I had with these girls, I had no idea what to do. I mean, I'd never done this before, so I was totally making it up. So I decided I was going to have them each say one thing that they were proud of about themselves, right? We were going to test out this idea of starting to build more positive thoughts about ourselves. It didn't go so well. These girls, they couldn't say one single thing about themselves that they were proud of. And I understood because I totally related. I mean, I felt the same way. So I decided to create an exercise for them, for all of us to do. So the idea was that every time we had a positive thought about ourselves, we would imagine turning up the volume, like literally turning up the volume on that thinking. And every time we had a negative thought about ourselves, we were going to press delete, just press delete in our brain, let it magically disappear. And it worked. It worked, this idea of kind of stepping outside of ourselves so that we could see ourselves better. Little by little, we each came up with little things about ourselves that we liked. But for me, for every little thing that I came up with that I liked, it was like there were 10 things that I didn't like, 10 things that I felt critical about. So I checked it out with the girls and they said, yeah, they felt the same way. So we decided that at the end of each class that we had together, we would have one of us stand in the middle and the rest of us would stand around the others. And we would each tell the girl that was standing in the middle one thing that we admired about her, one thing that we really liked. And it was so hard to stand in the middle. It was like we didn't want to let it in. We wanted to just keep those compliments out. And so we made up a rule. And the rule was that when someone gave us a compliment, we would simply say, thank you. At the end of every session that we spent together, we all wrote down one thing about ourselves that we admired. We forced ourselves to sort of build this list, to get our thinking going about the things that were important about ourselves. And I want to read to you just a couple of things. So these were the things we wrote on the very first day. I kept the list. On the first day, I wrote, I'm proud of my work with these girls. And the girls wrote, I'm proud that I stood up for the girl who was bullying my best friend. I think I'm smart. I like that I'm different. I'm a really fast sprinter, and I'm a good artist. At the end of that year, these girls started to change. It was like they were walking a little taller. They were kinder to themselves. They were kinder to each other. And I started to change too. It was like they showed me that I could rewrite my story. And I realized that we weren't the only ones struggling with that story. Boys were struggling too, teenagers, even adults were having a tough time coming up with one or two things to say about themselves that they felt good about. And this negative self-image that we were holding on to, it was showing up in our culture in alarming ways. It turns out that teen suicide, it's the third leading cause of death amongst young people. 1 out of 4 girls says they have sex for the first time to be more liked, to be more popular. And boys and girls alike, they're joining gangs. And the number one reason is not to feel safer, it's to feel more important. But here's the good news. The good news is that we can counteract this. The work that I did with those girls and the work I've done the last 15 years, we've come up with ways for us to feel good about ourselves right now, today. And I want to share some of those things with you, okay? So the first thing that we can do to feel good about ourselves is we can spend time with people who make us feel good. This is me and Julie when I very first met her. Find your Julie and spend time with her or him. The second thing is that we can turn up the volume on our positive thinking, right? We can build up those thoughts about ourselves that are good, and we can delete the negative thoughts. Just press delete. The third thing, start to tell the people around you, maybe the people around you today, start to tell them what you see about them that you like. Help them jumpstart their own positive thinking. And the last thing is, when you receive a compliment, when we receive compliments, let's stand our ground, let's look them in the eye, and let's just say, thank you. Let's create a new culture. A culture where we all get to grow up feeling good about ourselves. A culture where we can rewrite our histories, we can create new stories about ourselves. I will start. I'm 11, and I like these legs because someday they're going to help me run marathons. I'm 15, and I'm proud of my mom for getting herself sober and for making a better life for us. I'm 17, and I know that nobody is perfect. I'm 21, and I think I'm just as successful as my friends. I'm 37, and now this is my story. I invite you today. I invite you to do 2 things with me. First, be Julie for someone. Invite him or her to meet themselves, because it might change their lives. And second, I want you to get out a piece of paper and I want you to write down the 10 things about yourself that you admire. The 10 things about yourself that if you were someone else, you might even be jealous of. And I want that to be the beginning of your story today. I will help get you started, okay? So I just met you a couple hours ago, literally just a couple hours ago. And I can already say that you are gutsy, you are hardworking, you are unique, you are resilient, you are talented, you are gentle, you are calm, you are all amazing. Thank you.
Oh, nice. Okay, so what do you feel about after watching that? And then what are your realizations after watching this video? And then do you think you can practice what was suggested in the video? So have a reflection on that and then submit it to our big team. I think since our final will be on we don't have class on December 5 since this is a pre-day. So I'm this on December 5, so facility at this is proposal pressure. So our final schedule will be on December 12. So hopefully all your submission, all of your activities will be submitted on December 12 or before December 12. I hope that you can submit it before getting, let's say, hopefully before December 12, so that we can I can tell you if you have, if you lack something. Okay? Basta lahat yung Pasko natin. So, walang babaksak. If you have completed all your requirements. Okay? We have this, I think we have this 10 minutes break. If you want, you can go to CR, drink coffee, if you feel sleepy. And then, okay, you can reflect on or you can do the reflection about the activity today so that you can no longer, or you can submit it today if you can. Okay, so simple lang naman. And then after that, we're going to go to our second topic. Okay, so I gave you 3:05. Are we going to resume at 3:05? So for me, it's 2:55. And then resume at 3:10 na lang. Okay, resume at 3:10. Take a 10-minute break or 15-minute break. Okay, so stop ko lang muna yung record. Okay, good afternoon again. We're back. Okay, so our second topic will be managing one's time, money, and stress. So why do we need to manage our time, money, and stress? So supposedly before, this topic were taken for 3 weeks. Okay, so per week, we have this time management, the second week is money management, and the last one is the stress management. So all of these topics were given for the span of 3 weeks. But this week, we are taking, I think, more than 4 topics in one meeting. But a while ago, the sub-team, it was taken, I think, before midterm, before. So also this topic was taken before midterm. Okay, so let's go. Let me start with the time management. Okay. So what is time management? Okay, so first we have to know the learning outcome. So explain the importance of managing time, money, and stress to meet our set goals and plan through our class discussion. Okay, and through your structured activities. Then second, distinguish factors that affect time, money, and stress. Okay, so to identify the appropriate course of actions guided by the activities. Okay, then the last one, create a plan for managing time, money, and stress to manage yourself well guided by the provided worksheet. So I'm going to give you, after discussing this topic, a 1-page worksheet. I think from that 1 page, we have 3 topics: time, money, and stress. So you just have to fill it out, and then it's somehow like a short reflection paper with matching visuals and graphics. But you have to parang piliin mo lang ka namin. Okay, so first, an introduction is, let's see, for the introduction. Okay, so it's important for you to know how to manage your time, your money, your stress issue, so that you can replace or you can remedy on how to manage it well. So it's the time is a part of your resources, and then being healthy and having money is also part of your resources. Okay, and stress is if you're not going to manage your time and money, it will give you stress. Okay, so say for example this one. I'm not going to give you this as a part of an assignment. So we're just thinking, for example, if we are going to plan for a party, just a thought of it, okay? As part of the activity, but you're not going to have it tomorrow. Worksheet activity. I'm going to check it. Yes, it is. I'm going to check the worksheet. So behind question po. Thank you for reminding me. So, at least you're asking for the worksheet about the
This topic, miss, this topic.
self-management.
Yeah.
It's on the activities. Oh, wait lang. It's part of the activities. It's already here. I already opened it. Okay, later I'm going to show it to you. Oh, wait, I'm going to check.
No, I was there. It sounded.
Did you see it? The stress
Yeah,
one.
I sounded.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so the stress, self-management, the drop box, I think we can. There's no drop box. Stress management, it's an individual. This one, my self-management plan. You're asking for the stress management. It's called my self-management plan. Okay. Back again with the I'm going to have it. Manage. So for the drop box for this managing one's time, money, and stress, it will be the individual part, my self-management plan. Okay, if you're looking at it, are you looking for it? Okay, so again, so for example, so you're not going to submit this activity or um, springboard activity. Okay, you're just going to think about it. So parang I'm going to give an exercise on how you are being stressed. Parang binigyan ko yung stress. Okay, I'm going to give you stress. Something to think about, and then I'm going to ask you if you really feel stressed. Okay, so for example, you're planning with who are among you who have already celebrated the 18th birthday, 18th birthday. For the boys, I think your debut is 21. For the girls, it's 18. So for example, you were asked by your parents to organize your own debut party or your own party. Well, not specifically debut, but your own personal party, birthday party, or your loved ones party. It's a big event. Okay, so and then you're given a task that you only have to spend around 100,000. Okay, and then this part is it's very important, and it will take a month from now. So you have only 1 month of planning. For example, if you're going to plan for a or a wedding, perhaps, uh, how many months do you think it needed for you to plan a wedding or a birthday? A wedding, I think it's more than the time for planning a birthday. I think it's much more longer kasi planning a wedding, we have to consider the entourage, the place, the food, the sponsors. But on a birthday, I think it's much lesser than it may be a half of the wedding planning. But if you're planning for a debut, I think almost the same as the wedding, because you have to prepare for the 18th candle, 18th roses. Is it tama ba yun? Or then you have to think for the games, the prizes, and the activity that you're going to on, and also the theme about your birthday, and also the pre-image that you're going to show for your invitations, and also the parang pre-nut picture for the wedding. So it's also the same as the venue. Okay? So for example, you're going to prepare for a month, and you have only 100,000 for a budget. What do you think? So, and then these are the list of that you research. So you're given this list of amount that you're going to get for you to fit into a 100,000 budget. So first, you have to know how many are you going to invite, or how many visitors are you planning to accept. So since the food is 500 per pax, so how much money are you going to allot for the food? And then if you're going to reserve for a venue, there is also amount of 300 per pax. And then if you're going to rent for music or sound system, singer, performer, dancer, stand-up comedian, magician, MC, and a coordinator, you have to think about the TF, or talent fee. So for the invitation, we have this amount 5,000, decor 5,000, and then flowers, balloon, even the backdrop. Confetti, if it is anything for the entrance, or the person will celebrate if you're going to enter. If you're planning to throw up confetti, you need to have this confetti materials. Then smoke machine, bubble machine, prizes for the games, photographer, videographer. And then if your video is the same same day edit, it will cost you another 10,000. And for the party tables, okay? So these are the amount that you have to consider. So for example, we have this. Then you already listed I think all the needed materials and all the amount. And then it fitted your 100,000. But another question, there was an emergency. 15,000 will be taken from your budget. What would you let? From your list, and yung inevitable. So, possible, the game or the MC, you yourself will be the MC, or other unnecessary things that are not, that you think you can let go. And then another problem is the price of all the items increased by 50%. So what will you do? What will you let go? So first you have to, your budget is down to 75,000. Then next, all the items increases by 50%. So you have to, if you're going to let go or you're going to trim down your budget, so I think you have to consider what would you let go, or would you lessen your invitees or your invitation? You're going to reduce them, or the food you're going to reduce the number of servings. And then also the sponsor of the party back out for another 3,000. So another 3,000 is deducted to your budget. So how many na yung budget mo? And then the caterer added corkage fee for 5,000. So kano na lang. So what would you let go again? And then now you only have 75,000. And what are the most items that remain on your list? So from the 75,000 that you have, so I think nabawas na sa inyo is, so from 100, so 85, so 85 less than 50%, and then 3,000, and then, so total remaining amount is 75,000. Okay, so what happened to your planning? How do you feel? After all this event happened, what would you feel? Iniisip pa lang natin. Hindi pa natin ginagawa. Ano yung feel nyo? Wala lang. You're not even stressed out something. I think girls usually do this planning than boys. Tama ba ako? Mas a planner ang mga girl o baliktad. Depende kasi. If you're planning to be a coordinator of an event, I think you need to know all about these things. Pero if you're not going to be a planner, so only for your personal experience, what will happen? Na-stress ba kayo knowing this kind of event? Or not? You're used to it? Or never new experience na you were stressed handling such responsibility? So for example, now that you are in the first year and then you join a lot of activities in school, so you're bound to have this kind, or somehow you're bound to have this kind of experiences. For example, if you're going to do a volunteering work, and then you were given a budget for the activity, and then same thing happened. What will you do? Are you going to focus on the negative, or you're going to do plan, resolve, and find solutions about it? Okay, I hope that you're going to find solution. Okay. Then how do you feel while doing the activity, or while thinking the activity? Did the time pressure play on part of accomplishing your activity? Then how? Did you take into consideration the price of item when choosing them to be included in your party? Or was it difficult is it difficult or easy to plan a party? Or are you even stressed in planning a party? And then what stresses you? Okay. So those are the things that you can reflect on. But you don't need to do this as an assignment. It is a part of your mind activity. Okay. Hopefully you were thinking about it and then or you still feel sleepy. Okay. So we're going to go on with our main topic, time. So what is time for you? So wala lang. Okay, so you're not into rush or something. For example, if you're commuting going to school and then for example, our time is around 8 o'clock and then 8 in the morning and then you're still in the LRT and around 7:30 and I think your ride is approximately 30 minutes from where you're from to Vita Cruz. So are you stressed? If you're going to, yes, it's important. It is important in time. So before you have heard this as a motto, time is gold. Do you believe it? Do you believe that time is really gold? Or time is just a passing time? Mm, mm. You still have a lot of time, you're still young. But are you going to waste your time or you're going to use it wisely? So let us continue. So perception of time. The concept of time may be viewed in various ways. For a simple or for a cook, for example, it can be a period of needed days of the ingredient to this or in a dish to fully fuse with each other. So for example, you're cooking for those people in you know how to cook, you need to know the process of cooking. Parang hindi lang siya recipe. You have to know the step by step on how to cook this ingredients before that ingredient. So why first this ingredient before the others? Because, for example, you're cooking a meat or sinigang. So what will you do first before putting all the ingredients? You have to make your meat tender. So you have to cook it first before the vegetable in order for them to cook completely together. Then also for the taste. Uh, even the even boiling the meat is also part of the saving the taste of your cook or your recipe or your the food that you're preparing. And also, for example, a race car driver. A race car driver okay. So for example, if you're a race car driver, so hopefully not in our regular road, if you're a professional race car driver, what do you think the factors that needed for you to win a trophy? Do you need to practice? Do you need to know the route of the area you're going to race or beforehand you have to see the racetrack? Or you just going there or just go ahead and race your car without any practice, without knowing how your machine works, what are the techniques. Even our professional boxer like Manny Pacquiao know how to study his opponent before the prior fight. So why do they need to know the opponent's style? If you were going to become a you're an information system student, right? So what would be your values regarding time? Example, you're going to design things. So do you need time on that? Yes. Because you need to study, research in order for your design works or to have it tested before submission. Because without testing it, so it may fail during the final testing. Okay, so we have to make sure that the project you're going to submit will really work fine. Okay, so example, do you know the saying, kung gusto, may paraan, kung ayaw, may dahilan. So if you like, you can do, you can have, you have these ways. And if you don't like, you have a lot of reason not to, have a lot of reason. Why not? Okay, so if ayaw mo, tendency, you're delaying time. And then if you're going to, or if you like to do that thing, you're going to do a lot of ways of solutions to have it upon to solve it. Right? So the importance of managing time is having or after having cleared one's perception of time. It would then follow that such perception is reflected in the way of a person manages their time. Say, for example, if a person look at a time like resources that cannot be bought, rented, stored, saved, renewed, or multiplied, then it will be used wisely until the last seconds. Tama ba? So how do you think or how do you know or how is time for you? So is it um free or you're that same person you're going to view time as hindi siya mabibili or cannot be bought? Hindi siya pwedeng rentahan, hindi siya pwedeng i-save, hindi siya pwedeng mag-renew. Kasi if time flies, hindi na siya babalik. Okay? So if that will be your meaning of time, where you're going to use your time next. And on the other hand, if a person perceives time as a limitless, will probably undervalue the time that they become unproductive and most of the time. Parang wala lang, just passing time, parang kabayaan lang. Okay? So surely for a student, time is very important. Okay? So you can start or you can do a lot of times, most of the time, based on experience, most of the time nakikita ko, well, what I observe is that most of the student are cramming before finals. Tama. But before finals or for the first 3 weeks or 4 weeks, they're not doing something or not even preparing for the assignment for or their assignment for each subject. So they have sinasave nila lahat na they're saving their assignments. One, if you're going to save your assignment, nadadagdagan o parang dumadami. Parang bangko. Okay? So parang ka nagsisave. The problem is the more you wait or the more time you wasted, the more time that will give you stress on how to accomplish all those things that from backlog. Okay? Time management entails planning and organizing. By doing these two processes, you can sort things that are more important and not important. Okay? Once finished with the important task, you can have more time to do other things. Okay? So mas magiging okay yung quality, or if you have a lot of time, quality of your project or work will be more good, or I think very good. So managing time enables you to fulfill tasks and produce better quality work. Okay? So do you agree with that? Okay, so if you have managed your time well, you can disregard good time, you can disregard. So you'll have a good time management. So you can finish all your requirements on time. But kasi doing your work in a rush, you're gambling with the quality of your works. Okay? Then planning to finish it. So depends the deadline. Or you're planning to finish it before the deadline or during, or what to finish. So what will happen to the quality? Sometimes it's affected, or depends on you. We have done a lot of practice, but since you are all new to you, maliban na if those subjects were taken before you in your history. Kasi I think, some subject will nauulit. It depends on, parang ano yung topic mo before. Sometimes nauulit din siya, pero much more difficult din sa college. Okay? So, managing time reduce unnecessary stress. So, if you're going to manage your time, so yung stress nyo, malinasa. So, you can know yung mapaprioritize nyo kung ano yung kailangan nyo matapos first, and then, alam nyo na yung susunod. So, you have to do some listing on what is important, less important, or the least is not important. But all of them are being required for you to finish. So, suggestion is yung pinakamahirap, or the one that you think will take long to finish. You have to do it unti-unti, gradually. Okay? Para matapos siya unti-unti. Kasi if you're going to do it in a rush, I think quality of work will be affected also. So we have to make the heavier tasks accomplished first. But we have to also think if some activity where parang madali na naman siya, why not do it parang during yung from break, madali na naman siya. Parang, for example, these apps that, or this practice is being that if you're, let's say, parang the task that given to you is quite boring, for you to be not bored with your assignment, what you do is 45 minutes of your time will consider to do this boring job, and then 15 minutes will be you're doing, so let's say, break, or do something that can release your stress, or you can do things, assignment that you think can be easily done. Okay? So parang salitan, so that you're not going to be bored or parang stress out na parang you don't want to do it anymore. So what are the time management? Using the following tools, suggested by Garner and Julian, it will help students, or it will help you to provide a physical form of their objectives. Okay? So the data they would identify through these tools would represent a short and mid-term responsibilities, and having them organized this in relation to time frame would serve as a first step in managing your time. Okay? With your task, or with your task at hand. So those tools now can be used in a combination, depending on it depends on your, kung saan kayo comfortable or what will fit for you. Okay? So you can use a lot, there's an apps, there are some tools that you can do to manage your time. Okay? And using information, okay, term of time to review, using information provided in materials such as course syllabi, you will know kung ano yung mga topic natin. So since the course syllabi is already uploaded in Wixscan, so you know what to expect or what topic expected for that week. Okay, you can either read them or we have the syllabus. You can PM the topic, and then you'll know the due dates. Okay, and then you also have to match it with your school or time calendar. So if there are no longer assignment or time papers, you have to divide your time. But let's say for finance, especially during finance, there are a lot of things that you need to finish. Especially starting, I think starting from now, we only have until I think December 13. So from now we only have 2 weeks, and then for this November 30, there is no class. On December 5, it will be a pre-day. So after today, our next meeting will be December 12. Okay, but hopefully, for you to submit all your, I hope that before December or during December 9, you can submit all your requirements so that during December 12, I will just remind you kung yung naglalaksan if may kulang pa. But hopefully, we meet on December 12, so para, you know, kung may kulang pa kayo, that you need to submit it as for me before I'm going to send your grades during our deadline. Okay? So, siguro I think, kung tatanggap na ako mapahabol ng project, which sana wala na since hopefully tapos na lang lahat before December 12. Ang last day ko siguro yung pagtanggap is 13. Okay. So there are terms in the preview, so you can have your assignments since in the syllabus you have this assignment line up. So you can have it put here in a table so that you can plan out. And then for the weekly schedule, it's a timetable that helps you organize your weekly schedule and keep track on how they are spending it, on how you're spending your time. So having to check them from time to time, it will give you or it will reveal on how to use your time firstly. Okay, so this is your let's say daily per hour activity per week. Okay, since even Sunday is included. So let's see, for example, for Sunday, going to church. So what are your activity for the week? So why are you doing something like this? First, if you're going to monitor your time on how to do your things, in the future, if someone asks you given your project, then you're looking at this timetable or daily time record on how you do things. You, I think you can estimate on how fast you're going to finish a project or a certain activity. So you can PM and you can inform the client on how or when this project can be done by you. So our daily to-do list. So maintaining to-do list can also help you to avoid feeling stressed out. Okay, it can hindi naman siya maging parang out of touch. So some people start a new list every day, so once a week, and other keep running lists through the page a week. So parang dire-diretso lang. Some others are, nakikita ko, other classes where they're using a stick on paper, and they are stick it out and put a note and then stick it to the side of their monitor. So every day before they do their assignment, they're going to read all the activities that they got to do. And then if the space or the side of your monitor is lacking, you can do another list of to-do list and then put it on the side so that you can always see it, and then you can cross out all the things that you already done. But if it is a stick on note, you just okay. But if it's a listing, written list or printed list, you just have to cross it out. Or it's better for you to monitor and cross out, and then renew again the other day so that it will not feel that there are a lot of tasks to do for the day or for the week. Okay, so question about money about time management. And if you don't have any question about time management, we can go on about money management. So regarding money management, so why would the student need to know how to manage their financial, since most of you don't have work and rely only on the allowance that your parents or guardian given you, so you have to manage or have to plan your finances. So these are money management. It's a process of making decisions regarding your cash inflows and outflows over a period of time. So what are the cash inflows and outflows? So the cash inflows are mostly your allowances. So if you have part-time job, so that will be part of your inflows. And then if there is a scholarship, say for example, you're accepting scholarship grant, or the school is giving you a scholastic allowances. So that is part of your inflows. And then for the outflows, I think, I don't want to share outflow. These are your expenditures, your regular expenditures and your not so regular expenditures. For example, your regular expenditures are what? I think transportation allowance, if you're riding or going back and forth from your house or dorm to the school. And then I think if your phone is prepaid, so you have to regularly load on it, or kung naman hindi siya makanina or makalan, you don't have to download. But if you have a car, you need to have this gas allowances, or food allowances, for the schools, even your school supply, you have to prepare for it, and also for the talent nutrition fee. So, for example, your parents are giving you, say, the whole back of your allowance, including for your tuition fee. So you have to manage. But if your allowance is given to you day by day, according to what you need, is libre na kayo sa finance. Pero, but you still can manage your daily activities. So, for example, how do you survive in this in school? Because you have to know how much will be your transportation allowances, how much will be your meal allowance. So the remaining will be ready for snack and also for the school supply. But if say for the first week, you need to have allowance for supply that you need to buy, for example, tools that you needed to or you need to buy before the last start. So those are things to be considered. Okay. So for example, if you're not on if you're not a student, if you're not a student, you're part of your money management, if you're starting a family, you have to know what are your family goals. So for example, how much do you get for the salary? For example, you're working person. So what will be your salary will be your inflows, and then your outflows is the family expenditure. Okay? So for you, money management means creating a budget plan to properly allocate or plan your money to avoid allowance shortage and meet your financial. Okay? So if you plan your money right, hindi kayo magkakaroon ng loan. You're not going to have a loan student loan. Okay? So budgeting. Budgeting is making a plan for the coordination of resources or expenditure and setting goals regarding to your money. Okay? So for those who are not, doesn't know about budgeting, good for you. We have a lot of resources, but if your resources is sakto lang, and it's not for you to go by in a day, you have to budget your money if you're planning to buy something for you, for your personal personal needs. So you have to set aside it's a sacrifice more, or for example, you have to buy half for your dinner or lunch money to save up for something that you want to buy. Since part of extra expenditure is not part of your allowance, so if your budget that tight, you have to really plan your budget. Okay, this process is broken down into several steps. Okay, the process are identifying and prioritizing your goals. So, what are your priorities? Ano yung needs? Example, what are your needs? What are the needed materials for a student to survive college life? For example, you are in dormitory. So, what is your priority? So if you're in a dorm, for your money or your allowances, what is your first priority to save? So for example, you're renting an apartment or a condo. So first you have to prioritize your regular renting payment. Second, the food. Okay, so food for you to survive every day. Third, I think third would be your internet or your allowance or cell phone allowance, or load for your phone, for your phone, so that you can contact people that you needed to, and also you can also do this internet for research or for your assignment. So most of the time, like now, internet is very important for us to keep updated what our assignments is. Then knowing your cash inflow and then also your regular cash outflow. You have to know this too. Okay? So that you know what's the regular money that you needed for you to complete or hindi kayo magpunta sa process ng pangungutang. Okay? And then next is adjusting your spending to accommodate your financial goals. So for example, your allowances given by your guardian is only good for 1 week. But you're planning to buy something like drawing materials or a part of your project, and your guardian won't give you extra money for that. So what will you do? You're going to do things that can save up money. Like for example, if before you were riding a jeep going to school, maybe you have to walk. So you have to just wake up earlier than before for you to walk. And then it's also form of exercise. And then also, to accommodate this spending or your financial, you have to really plan how to meet or how to extend your allowance. Not to extend the to have to ask another allowances or additional allowances, but how to save up from the regular allowances. Then, usually some parents with extra allowance, they teach their children or they teach students to prioritize savings. So for example, we have this 1,000 daily allowances. So part of the saving will be, let's say, half of your money allowances will be saved to one. So you only have 500. So is it 500 enough for you? So you have to compute. What are your daily transportation, lunch, snack, dinner, and breakfast? So how much money do you need for a day? And then from that, if half of the 1,000 is still over the budget, you can still save. So you can still put out, say, for example, for 100,000, we have this 35, 1% is 70. Save it, and then the remaining, or I think you have to determine the first, your regular outflow. So you have to know how much you're going to save for a week or for a month. Okay? And then from the saving, you don't need to ask your parents to give you allowances for the school plan, because you already have the funds to given to you by your parents before to buy the things that you need from school. Okay? So identifying and prioritizing. So financial goal may be in the form of purchase, wants, and automation budget or saving fund for you to that wishes to put up or needed to pay up your debt. Okay. So for example, someday, I think someday you want to have a, let's say, a capital, a small amount of money or a capital to put up your business, to put up a business. So, if your parents will not, you knew that your parents or guardian will not give you the amount of money that you need for capital, then from that time, you can start saving, saving money. So that when the time arrives, or when the time that you value, and then you can start a very small business for you to put up. Parang meron ka ng capital from your daily allowances before. Okay? So the earlier you know how much money that you want to save, you can determine what is needed for you to save that for the whole college life years. So these are the ranking rules to identify your needs. So for financial goals, say you need education, say you need to treat a friend, open savings account, or pay your debt. Okay? So what are the things that needed? The happiness it brings, immediate need, kailangan na, you have to pay it, or you have to save. Then fulfill obligation. So let's say you promise a friend that you're going to treat him or her, and when the day comes, it's a part of a fulfillment obligation. Okay? And have immediate need. And then does it bring happiness to you? So if it brings happiness to you, then you can give yourself confidence and then also self esteem. Same time, you're managing your money. Right. Knowing your regular cash inflow, the student and the family and common cash sources of cash. So research the sources of cash, family assistance, employment through your part-time job, from your scholarship. So from the school, let's say the school are giving a scholarship grant, or for example, you are a consistent linguister and you're a number one consistent linguister, the school will given you I think, part of a reward, cash money. Before they were giving, I think, 25 to 35,000 for the number one linguister, consistent linguister. Before, I don't know now kasi parang we have this budget deficit in school since the pandemic started. There are a lot of expenses before the pandemic started, and we have a lot of building being put up or built up for school or for the student accommodations. Okay? So knowing your regular cash outflow, it represents your regular expenses. Pwede mo na ito, pwede mo ito, pero can be a big amount of money that will be removed from a chunk of your allowance. So you have to know them. You have to know your complete total cash outflow. It may be necessary to list it down. So if you really are in a tight budget, you have to list all the things that you need to pay or your regular utility bills, water, internet. So these are the regular things that you need to pay. If you don't have those are part of what is needed for you to survive. So you can survive naman without the internet, you can survive without the electricity, you can survive without water. But water to drink, you need that. Okay? Pero most of the time, those things, you can still survive without these things, except water. Okay? But if you know how to save, mas okay yung expenses, mas masasave siya. So adjusting spending to accommodate your financial needs. So you need to adjust your spending habit if you're planning or aiming something to buy or something that you need to buy in order for you to keep them for the person that you want to give a gift. Okay. So 7, for example, finding other sources of income, let's say, to accommodate your financial goal in achieving your financial goal. The example of this are finding your other source of income. For example, you are a regular employee, but your salary is still not enough for you to spend for the whole week. So what you're going to do is either lessen your entertainment activity, and then also you have to reduce the money that you spend on food that are not necessary or not too important. Like for example, snacks, junk food, for the boys, liquor or drinks. You can reduce those expenses. What are the things that you need to have regularly for a month is your rent, your food allowance, your food monthly food allowance, your transportation allowance, your load allowance for mobile, your internet, your other utility, electricity, water, and rental. So there are a lot of expenses money if you're coming from the province. So sa province kasi usually they cook a lot of vegetable or mushroom. So since the province, this vegetable or fruits are very cheap. Okay? Considering if they are allowed in the so those become really expensive. Then if you're going to save up money, you can compute or you can commute, sorry, you can commute. So you can commute in order to save your gas allowances for if you're bringing your car. So if you're going to bring your car, you have to consider, let's say for example, you're in the province, you have to consider toll fee, parking fee, gasoline fee for the total travel. But if you're going to commute, you just only have to think, you have to be able to go home so that you avoid traffic and then for you to easily log in commuter or vehicle, public utility vehicle. Okay. So those are the things that you consider. It takes time, but it will save you money. Okay. So when cash inflow is more than the outflow, there is a cash flow out surplus. So it's a sobering analysis. But when the cash outflow is more than the inflow, it will result to a cash flow deficit. So kukulangan mo pera. So what will happen? If mo kasi allowances and then you're still not adjusting your own financial requirement, I think another week again, going to borrow money unclear. The amount of money that you borrow is no longer, you're no longer able to afford to pay it. Parang baon ka sa. Okay? So, basta, don't attempt keeping up with the new spending. So, pag i-try na lagi, malaking gastos. Okay? So, some students are living with spending with their parents' credit card. So yeah, those people don't consider how much money they are spending because they are not earning it using or finding work in Hollywood. So, parang regular kanila madaling kuha ng allowances. But if this is a tight budget, for example, during pandemic, many realized that the incentive then when it stopped, they realize the value of the money that the incentive then from their parents. For example, during pandemic time, there are a lot of parents who lost their works, and also the students had to transfer to another school that they need to pay for tuition fees because their finances is deteriorating. Finances is hindi na. So saving is setting aside money for future use. The equation of this is income minus savings equals expenses. Okay, so from your income minus your savings. So yun lang yung pwede yung gastos. Yung equation na ito. Okay? So the student can try the recommendation for working profession to have at least 3 months worth of monthly expenses as a saving. So for example, mag-ipon ka ng 3 months na expenses mo. Magkano? That will be the amount of needed savings that you need to set goals into. Okay? Kasi yun yung tingin mo wala sa'yo. So if you have savings around something like that, 3% or something, 3 months expenses. So within 3 months, you still have money to pay for your finances or your requirement to pay. Things that required to be paid. Okay, so prioritize food. These are the priority. Prioritize your food, transportation, school needs over than entertainment. So mas prioritize niyo yung kailangan sa school rather than go watch a movie or movie house or load for your Mobile Legends, and there are a lot of things, or for your Dota, or whatever that you need to buy in order for you to play game on internet. Okay? So, ano yung mas priority mo to survive mo? So, first number one is food and then transportation for the school, for being student. Okay? So, we live within your allowance and do not indulge to unnecessary spending. So, kailangan kung ano lang yung allowances mo, doon kayo pag-stop. So, for example, the budget that you have is very low. So, you have to really not, really, a suggestion is you can bring food from home as a baon. Then you don't need to buy food from nearby restaurant, which will cost you money. Malaki yung expenses mo if you go to the restaurant. Or you can buy food from a pantry. Suggestion, try not to borrow money. If you really want to borrow money, it should be from your education expenses. Kasi pwede mo siya reimburse from your parents. Or if hindi rin, prioritize mo yung study. Kailangan magtuloy ko lang. Yung second priority is your food. At the home, kami ka borrow. And Technic Campus Technology Computer Center before buying any computer equipment or software. You'll always have a privilege of the school. The school Mac. We like Apple products. There is a Apple Center in DLS. Before we have this in CSB at SDA campus, that store already been transformed into a classroom. Since there are a lot of students from that year, so the store for the IMAC are being closed down to accommodate classrooms. Okay? Then students are entitled to several discount when purchasing all these as say for example for the transportation you have this discount, 20% discount. For the food, you also have, I think, discount especially for the people who need. Okay. Reduce school costs by buying used school materials if there are any. Then compare the price online. So at least you know how much money you need to spend for those required materials that you need to submit. Okay? So, or you can share your living space with other, share a room, or carpool, or you can use it public transportation, or ride share, or some are being, or use joyride, or angkas. You have to save up money. If you're getting some money from home, do not hesitate to call your parents or guardian so they can help you the sooner the better. Okay? So the last topic will be the stress. So how do you manage your stress? So the first define the stress. Stress is the body ways of responding to events and situations perceived to be a threatening in a way or another. Is intended to get person ready to be alerted, defend him, herself from danger. So, like prehistoric time, the stress response also known as the fight or flight. So parang if you're under stress or under a dangerous situation, what would you do? Do you fight or do you fly or run away from the danger? So if for example it's an hold up, so better give the materials to the hold up. If you know how to fight and you think you can win over that person, why not try? But we suggest that always to the student that your life is more valuable than the equipment you have. Okay? So it's better to give them and then replace it. Just accept the consequences that you're going to be scolded because you were something. But if you were lost, must they will think that it's much better that you give item to them that people rather than waste your life. Okay? So your life is more important to important in your plans. So the body's physical reactions suggest stress such as increased heart rate, increased breathing, and muscle tone. Allow the prehistoric human to protect themselves from danger. So, parang, natin, automatic response. Okay. Our brain signal that and release adrenaline at its threat as it threat as stressor. Okay. So blood is circulating in a large muscle, there is more oxygen in the body, and muscle tremors make them ready to fight or run. Okay. So ito yung parang adrenaline rush. Okay. So stress in this case can be defined as a person's psychological response to an internal or external stimulus that triggers a fight or flight behavior. Okay? So, ito yung magbibig sa ating decision whether we are going to face head on with the problem or we are more wisely to avoid them. Okay? If you can avoid things that are dangerous, try to avoid them. Okay. Assessing personal stress level. Assess your stress level. You should ask the person perceived stress level from forehead environment or marshmallow time. After answering, you can calculate the score by adding up the serial number. The highest possible value is 40. So, score can be interpreted as follows. 15 or less, that means you have a stress. So 25 to 60 to 25, we have a moderate stress. But if it's 26 or above, you have a very high stress level. Okay? So these are in the danger zone. So what are the examples? So if you are on a high level, you're probably having trouble managing important and unpredictable events. So you feel overwhelmed with everyday pressure and hassle, and then you feel tired and fatigued fast. Okay, for a moderate level, some stressful circumstances are managed, but others get the best of you. Okay, perhaps you has experienced on some major life changes, so stress is likely to come from your personal life, okay, relationship and health. Since wala ka naman kayong family or wife or husband, hindi pa ganun kayo taas ang level of stress. Okay? So, defining stressor, sino ba yung nagpo-cause ng stress? So, stressor is an event, situation, condition, or demand that causes stress. So, hindi siya tao, pwede siyang maging event or bagay na pangyayari. Ang pwedeng sitwasyon doon, or a condition that demands your time. Okay? Stressor can be ranged from life-threatening to seemingly ordinary things, like exposure to loud noise, extreme heat, and even positive effects like starting a new job or celebrating a significant milestone. Okay? So by Ratbus and Fincher's Ratus identify some of the everyday stressor of you for you as a student. So daily hassle, life changes, frustration, conflict, exhibiting type A behavior is like yung anong demand, nasa hassle. Okay, so daily hassle are regular obligations and anomalies. So annoying na yung having a daily hassle. So for example, may daily hassles na. So I think ang daily hassles natin is household chores natin, pwedeng ginagawa natin assignment. Pero, ito yung regular na ginagawa natin. Pero kung everyday na ginagawa natin, nababawasan siya. Madadagdagan na, nababawasan na siya. Pero hindi siya nagtatambakan. Okay? So, these are the hazards: household, time pressure, course-related, social relationship, health, inner concern, environmental, and financial. Those are the hazards that affect the students' stress. Okay? So frustration. So frustration came from students who are unable to reach their goals. Frustrated sila because most of the time, hindi nila nakuha yung goal nila. For example, if you know the game in the province Palacebo, so there are two bamboo poles that have a colored flag on top of it. And then the whole bamboo poles are being waxed so that any person who wants to climb that pole will eventually slip down. Hanggang mapagod. If pag sobrang ng konting oil or grease from the pole, then you can say it can slowly go up. Okay? So you're not going to slip down. Okay? So for example, let's say a varsity player, his goal is to become a varsity player. So what he does is try out to get drafted from the school group of varsity. Okay. So conflict. There is conflict when behavior conflicts with one's value, like exchanging on sexual activity just because you're pressure. Okay, so ito yung nagkakaroon ng conflict. So if parang dahil lang sinabi mo isang kaibigan mo, kailangan mo yun, you have to do it because it's a challenge. But if you're not able to do that, think first. Okay? Think what is right and what it will do to you afterwards. Okay? Think of the consequences. Okay? There is a conflict when students study a subject which they do not like. So for example, you're taking a course which you do not like, but your friends force you to enroll on that course. So you have to study that subject even though you don't like it. So the motivation is very low and your stress is very high. So what is a typing behavior? Typing behavior is like a typing student having an unreasonable sense of time and urgency. So ito yung behaving overnight. So they feel that things have to be done immediately. Even if the deadline is a week away, they can talk, walk, and even eat rapidly. Parang mabilis lahat. Minamadali. They are highly driven and competitive and lost patience with other students who move as a slower pace. So parang nahilig na sila if they see their classmate ng bagal. Okay? The downside of this type A student are always on the lookout for ways to which they fall short or of perfection and are very critical of themselves. So parang ginadjust ng sarili nila. Okay? So type A behavior is a health risk and the hostility associated with it has been linked to migraine, headache, and heart disease. So better not stress yourself because it will cause to migraine, headache, heart disease. I have this migraine, pero hopefully I don't have heart disease. Since hindi naman siya ayaw ko. There are a lot of things to do and at the same time, kasama yung another problem, okay? Personal problem, what's working problem. So life changes. These changes require readjustment, even if they are pleasant changes. Example are changes in financial and living condition. For example, if you were rich and then during pandemic, the business that you have zero or bumaksak. What happened to your financial and living condition? So I think financial, you can buy anything that you want. For the living condition, you from a big house, you will be transferred to a rented apartment or a more smaller apartment to fit your budget. Your children is being taken away because you can anyone pay for them mortgage. Okay. Catastrophes. Aside from those identified by Mirabus, other catastrophe as a major stressor. It defines the unpredictable or large-scale event that creates a tremendous need to adapt and adjust as well as overwhelming feeling of threat. Okay? So for example, a fire, earthquake, war, and other disasters sample are catastrophes. Okay? So parang kasama na yun dyan yung super typhoon. So identify your personal stressor. Example, with the student, you have to identify your own stressor. So you have to list down 10 of the stressor. So kasama na dun sa sample kanina. They can consider event or demand that are accompanied by some degree of emotion. Okay? Being worried, guilty, anxiety, fearful, grief, and thoughts that dominate your thinking, especially when you're not occupied by tasks or before going to bed. Okay? So that's why it's very important that you are very busy for you not to think about other things or other problems that really consume your time. When there is completed student you should determine the impact of this stressor by rating each of stresses according to the frequency and intensity of following the table, for example. Okay, so identify your personal stressor again, awareness of the student stressor. So you have to know what stresses you to avoid it. So it will help you avoid stressors or prepare them when this situation are about to happen. So what other situation? Example, flooding, being stuck in a laundry unit because you cannot go out because of flood that you need to cross, but it's too high that you need to stay on a third or second floor of a building. So for you to be safe, you have to wait. So stress indicators, stress can be manifested itself in different ways through your physical, emotional, mental, and behavioral signs, and there are symptoms presented. Okay, ito yung mga sample. So for the physical stress reaction, parang start back, then disturb sleep patterns, so hindi na regular yung sleep patterns yung tightness on the scalp, head, back pain. So if you having this kind of stress reaction, possible you are under stress. Okay, so hopefully if you're not going to feel this kind of stress reactions, it means that you're not under stress. Okay, so for emotional and mental stress reaction, these are the stress reaction that you will be having or what you're going to be what will be your behavior will be. So for example, you're going to be moody, worried, confused, angry, nervous, irritable, lonely, very defensive. So those are a lot of things. Okay? So for behavior stress reaction, these are the things that usually Knowing one's stress reaction, think of yourself in a stressful situation that you have experienced recently. What physical reaction, mental and emotional reaction and behavior do you exhibit while stress over you? If people were watching you, how would they know that you are under stress or stress over you? Okay. So how do you manage your stress? Managing your stress, okay, first we have to define the managing stress. So define stress management as learning to regulate the impact of stress has on the mind and body. There are several coping strategies for you to consider so that your stress level are reduced. Okay, you have to manage your stress, or you have to exhibit all those things that reaction, your body reaction. Okay, so problem focused coping. This strategy is eliminating the sources of stress or reducing its impact with respect to action. For example, you might have a problem understanding a professor. Problem focused coping means talking to the professor after class so that you lessen the problem. If the stressor is a bully facing up to them, wheeling him over or driving him and running away will be your problem focused action. That will be your solutions. Okay, so it depends on you how you resolve the problem. The emotion focused coping, another is for more uncontrollable stressor or emotion focused coping is helpful. This involves changing the way the person feels or emotionally reacts to your stressor. Okay? Explain the emotional focused coping includes rationalizing event, denying it an occurrence, laughing it off, tawanan mo na lang, calling on our religious faith for support. And the person can be used to place. So there are a lot of things including that irrational, irrational, it can become positive emotion, so that you can cope with the problem. So improving your wellness. Wellness is defined as a practice or behavior and lifestyle choice to promote both physical and mental health. Okay, so to improve your wellness, you can do exercise, get enough sleep, eat healthy foods, do some fun stuff, manage your time, reduce alcohol intake, and reduce smoking. So this it also improves your body, physical strength, as well as your total wellness. Okay? For social support, say for example, social support is an information and feedback from other people. For example, your loved ones, your family, your best friends. So these are the people that you value or you highly think that give you moral support. Okay. So, then relaxation and meditation. You can do this as a part of your coping mechanism to release or to lessen your stress. So exercise, refocus your attention to achieve your state of consciousness. So, we are using state of consciousness. So relaxation can reduce anxiety, eliminate fatigue, manage your pain, and help you get some good sleep. It produces wonderful feeling and well-being, okay? Helping you to relax your muscle. Therapies and other treatments. There are completely therapies that can help you stress at bay, which include clinical, hypnotherapy, aromatherapy, acupuncture, and even yoga. Okay? So those are the things that can help you to cope up with stress. So these are the references. So these are your self-management activity. So you have to answer these three forms. So I'm going to going to have magnify. Okay. sorry. Papunta sa past. Ay, sorry. So the first one is the time. Okay. So the first one is the time. So color the wheel according to the activity you did on you did or participate in. So for example, red. So red is sleep. So the colors, let's say, anong time ka natutulog? Is it from waiting time? So wait lang, ano ba kung time ko? So what? So ano activity yung ginawa mo? Sleep and then color it. Okay? Then orange, play game. Yellow, personal business. Green, household chores. Brown, chat. O naman chikahan lang ng matagal. Then blue, schoolworks and homework. Purple, extracurricular activities. Pink will be watching a movie or Netflix. Light green should be social media, let's say your phone, you're texting. It may be in Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook, okay, or other social media. Then gray is others, so you just define it. And thought is that others. Then under that, we have to answer the my productive activities are, my leisure activities are. The total amount of time I spent on the productive activity is, or the total amount of time I spent for leisure activities is. So I spend more time on. So let's say your productivity activity is you spend more on time on that. And then I need to spend more time on, let's say you feel that your life is in balance, you can put here that you need to spend more time in say leisure work, relaxation. And last question is the time management tool that I will use to help me resolve this. Yung time management tool. So you can research on tools that help you relax or solve this problem. Okay. On the second part is about how to save your money. So how do you plan your money? So first you have to adjust cash flow and meet financial goal. So let's say month one of let's say December. So during December there are a lot of cash inflow sources like say allowances. So you have to put this amount of allowances. So from those school and you will have to spend it. Yes. Yes. And then we have to your total income. And then what are your savings? So what are your intended savings from that? Say for December, you have a gift from your godmothers or godfather. For the cash outflow, so what are the expenses? Let's say food, electricity, phone, food. So how much is that? So allocation for goal one to need to siya tayo mabasa. If you're going to open this one, sorry, hindi ko siya masyado maliit kasi. But if you're going to download it, download mo na. Okay. Okay. So these are, let's see. So if you have these expenses, so what are your allocation for your goal one? Or what is your goal? Say, for example, your goal one is any priority for financial. Financial goal. Goal one is what is your priority? What will be the total cost? What will be your allocation per month? And then you have these three goals. Okay, so you have to identify your three goals for you to lessen the stresses. Then for this, there is three unproductive money handling practice that you like to break. So what are the three unproductive money handling that you want to not continue? For example, spending a lot of money on games or spending a lot of money on things that unnecessary. So other things that you think is not a priority to spend on. Okay? Then three money management that you would like to have. Okay. So what are the three money management that you would like? Let's say spending money, saving money, money management. You would like to do for you to save. Okay. What what is budgeting? Identifying priority goals, knowing your past inflows and outflows. So those are things that you can do as your part, money management. Okay. So these are the strategies. Okay. We have to prioritize your food, transportation, school, and sleep. But for the last part. For the last part, this one, you have to, let's say, stress. My score for stress level test is, so ano yung stress level nyo? Is high or low? And here on how you manage your stress. Okay, so first you have to start here, the last one. Okay. The last time I was here, I distressed loss. I was signed, I was really stressed her. The root cause of my stress was, then my best strategy to deal with my stress and back up in my strategy is, then my support system includes, let's say, friends, family, relatives. You just have to feel out. Kailan kayo last time stress, these are feel. Okay? And then just submit it to our big school. Okay? Any questions? So also regarding your, did I think I already informed you about your final project. Did I? I think I informed you about your final project. Okay, no, not yet. So regarding your final project output, you're going to create a digital portfolio. This will be your final project, which is also dumami na. So the two work one, and then this one, the final output. It can be on Canva, any digital format or platform. You can use, so you can also use PowerPoint, and then you can use, you can create a discovery, or you can use your past project, then put it in here, parang collage na siya, walking collage na naka-digital format. Okay, so be creative on what you're going to do. Ipo-collage yung lahat yung ginawa ng assignment activity or what you have learned from CSBLIFE. Okay, then for example, Jan 3 and I, 3 for all output, learning strong intelligence, personal mission statement, meet yourself na kanina, self-management plan, nag-implement sa self-management plan. So first you have your discovery wheel and your first discovery wheel yung result, and then if you're going to do your discovery wheel again ngayon, the last one, so post-testing, what will be the result? So or either or, if you're not going to follow this strict listing, you can just put all the project that we have done. Let's say week 1, you can create a map. So week 1, this is what you have done. This is what you submit. Week 2, something like this. Parang nag-collage kayo. Parang naging compilation. It's like a compilation of all your works in CSBLIFE. Okay? At the same time, you work on reviewing or summarizing all the activities that you submitted from this subject. Para ma-recall na rin. So, what are the requirements per week? And then you will recall, ano ba yung hindi para sa din? It's a sort of a review. Your digital form. So if you're going to complete this, you'll know what you're missing. And then also, you can recall what you have done. Okay? And these are to be submitted on December 12. Okay? That will be the last activity that you're going to do, and this is your final output. Questions? Any more questions? We have a question. Yes? Wala naman. Okay, so if you have a question, you can email me. Okay? No more question. If there are no more questions, who would like to volunteer to pray our closing prayer? Who would like to volunteer to read our closing prayer? Hello. Are you still awake? Guys. Who wants to volunteer? Wow, thank you, Elise. Go ahead.
Okay, so the together. Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, amen. I will take it like a God remember that we're the 20 presence of God. I will take it, sorry. I will consider only God to be only actions for the light of you. Where I will be the star,
Pray for us.
please send God to the fire,
Pray for us.
please deliver my son,
Pray for us
with Jesus in our hearts,
forever.
Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, amen.
Again, thank you, Elise, for praying. Bye. See you next December 12th.
Good
Yep.
night. Father, Son, and
Thank you po, ma'am.
Thank you, Ren.
Thank you po.
Do you have a question? Bye, guys.